You know, the whole concept that we can change the world by changing what is inside of us is so true, but people even look at that as some type of new age concept. They can't see that it's a simple shift of perspective. And many people don't want to shift this perspective again because of ego. They don't want to admit that they were ever wrong. And many people don't want to admit that, you know, some of the things they've done in their life and some of the paths that they pursued in their life have actually been meaningless. It's all been for nothing because the playing field was not what they thought it was. They didn't have the proper rules. They didn't even know the field that they were playing on when they began the game. And when they find out that the game is not what they thought it was, it's simply not something that they want to admit because they just don't want to back down. They don't want to ever face the fact that they may have been wrong. That's a huge problem that we face, ladies and gentlemen, it really is. And when they're just all theories, nobody knows. Nobody really knows what's going on here at all because we don't even have the right playing field. We don't even have the right history books. We don't even have any idea, any concept of how this civilization was really formed or where we even really come from. You know, when you look at all of the stuff that's been uncovered recently about history and Tartaria and the mud flood and all the stuff that's happened, you know, you realize that history is completely fabricated. 90% of it is fabricated. Well, what do you got to start with from there? I mean, if that's our starting point, we don't even know where we come from. We don't even know who we are. We don't even know how we got here, what is going on here at all. So if that's our starting point, how can we claim we know the truth by looking at some particular focal point within this incredible maze that we're given in this reality? I mean, honestly, folks, it's about time people were prepared to be at least that honest with themselves, you know. But, unfortunately, too many people lie to themselves, and they do. I mean, people believe that they've got it all worked out when they're really only partway through the journey. Yeah, so something else that I've been really attempting to stress to people in many of the interviews that I've done lately is the need to enjoy your life through all of this. I mean, even when you become an activist, you know, you discover what's going on with the world, you discover this terrible situation that we're in. You know, one of the worst things you can do is to move into fear for the situation that's coming. You know, all of the stuff that I bring you on the show is some of the incredibly negative information that I sometimes share with you. This is why on every show I still present it in such a way as to hopefully inspire the listener and inspire you into seeing the opportunity that becoming aware of this knowledge provides for you. Because that's what it's really about. I mean, you can't fix a problem unless you know the problem's there. But too many people look at all of this stuff and they move into fear of what's happening. And, you know, you think about this whole experience. I mean, a lot of it is designed to keep us in fear. Look at the newspapers. Look at what's on the news. Look at all the stuff they teach us. I mean, if we were to believe the media, it's sort of too dangerous to go outside the door just about. You'll catch some disease, someone will mug you, or it's just terrible. That's the kind of attitude they want to promote with everybody. And it's almost like that with a lot of the truth community as well. There's an awful lot of fear that's being promoted to people. You know, and it doesn't need to be that way. Because you can look at the situation that we're in and you can be concerned for the situation that we're in, and concern will cause you to step into positive action to address that concern, whereas fear is the opposite. Fear will generally make people cower and hide away and want to go and hide in a dark corner and hope that whatever it is doesn't come for them. There's a big difference. And when you look at this experience as well, I mean, as I said, there's so much of it which is designed to move you into fear. What do you think that's really about? You know, could there be more to it than simply keeping you under control? You know, is there an energetic or emotional reason for this as well? And I would suggest that there is. You know, as I've said so often, you know, this life is just a breath. It's just a fleeting moment that you're here. And what it's really about is the information that you get along the way and what you do with that information. You know, how you apply these situations and these circumstances, the information that comes to you, how you apply it to your everyday life, how you see the opportunities in crisis, the opportunities in problems, and how you move through it. You know, what you gather along the way. And if you have no stake in the outcome of the experience, well, you can find your way through it reasonably easily. And there is no point in having a stake in the outcome of any of this because, as I've also said so often lately, when you come to this earth, I mean, no one here gets out alive. That's the thing. All you've really got to look forward to is the experience that you have through this journey and the information that you take with you. And if this is some sort of a soul harvest or some sort of a consciousness harvest or an emotional harvest or whatever's going on here, whatever's going on the higher etheric levels of all this, way beyond the physical control that we see, when we get into things such as spiritual control or soul harvesting or any of the things that may well be going on, you begin to see that there's a reason that they want to keep us in fear, and you've got to look at what energy it is you're going to be taking with you when you leave this realm. I mean, many of the conspiracy theorists, many people who've looked at all this stuff and become aware of how bad the world is and all of this corruption and the fact that our governments are criminals and all this stuff, many of them have simply sat there in fear. And when they leave this realm, they're going to look back in their life and say, well, wow, I just sat in a room in fear of going outside for my whole life. And therefore, they missed out on their life. They lost it. They had it taken from them. They had the experience taken from them. They never really got to experience the world the way they were supposed to, or experience themselves the way they were supposed to, because they were in fear of all this stuff. All they have to do is let go of that. One of the most rebellious things you can do, one of the most powerful things you can do against this system, is to be happy in your life and happy in yourself and to enjoy your life to the fullest of your potential, because that's something they really don't want you to do. They don't want you to be taking that energy with you. They don't want you to be looking at this system and seeing it for what a joke that it really is and what a farce that it really is. It's a complete crock. It's a complete fiction. But we go along with it, again, because we're kept in fear. I mean, the whole system is designed to keep you in fear. Don't step outside the lines or we'll put you in a cage. It starts in high school. Don't think outside the box or we'll put you in a corner and put a dunce hat on you and give you the cane and make you a D-class person, ostracize you from the rest of the class. So all of this stuff, it's fear-based mind control, the whole system, folks. And the most rebellious thing you can do against this system, really, is to be yourself and to be happy in what you are. They don't like that. And that's a hugely empowering thing for people to do, because it's something most people have never really done, is simply step back and be happy with who they are and do something that they really enjoy, that wasn't some government-constructed, designated fun activity. Just something that they actually want to do. What is it you really want to do? It may be something as simple as going and putting your feet in the sand down the beach, But when's the last time you did that? Maybe walking in a forest or going butterfly catching, or whatever it is, swimming in a rock pool, surfing, whatever it is. Just laying down there with your loved ones, hugging your children, whatever it is. When's the last time you did that? When's the last time you really felt good about being you and put all of this external baggage down and simply looked at reality for what it is? When's the last time you appreciated a tree or appreciated the smell of flowers in the air or the smell of the surf, the smell of the ocean, or some of these things? When's the last time you put down all the trappings that society says you should focus on and actually focused on what it means to be you? Because that is the most empowering and most rebellious thing anybody can do against this system. Rediscover yourself, be yourself, and be happy in being yourself. It's a hugely empowering thing to do, folks. It sounds kind of lame, I suppose, to some people, and it may sound too simple to actually have any effect. But you would be really surprised at what an effect it can have on your life and what an effect it can have on the people around you. And if everyone was to do it, what an incredible effect it would have upon this world.
Help by spreading this message. Share with your friends, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Turn on notifications to stay updated.